Good morning, options trade game. Ice King here. Sorry, still struggling to get my voice back. It's been going on over a week now. Excuse me. All right. We'll start off with ES mini futures as we always do. Just to show you guys some of the things. Once again, I always tell you guys I do daily chart overlays. I love how they react with stock prices for intraday pricing. You can see here we broke through. You can see where it struggled, consolidated, and it pushed on. I always tell you guys whenever we break through a support or a resistance or break down through a support, we almost always go back and test for the opposite. So we broke through a resistance, we came back down and tested for support. It took 3 or 4 days, but we did it. Okay. Now, if you're going to wonder if this support was going to hold, to me, it looks pretty easy that it would have been a yes. This is just because the MACD lines were trading below the zero line and they upcrossed it. Okay. So right here it hit the same time, just shortly right here, right? We saw that they were going up and above. That should have been a clear sign that this support was going to hold. And we went back and we've stayed positive. Now we're sitting right here. Okay. We're sitting right on the trend line or support line, which 4,500 is a big number, right? It's a big even number. It's a psychological resistance. Now it will be a psychological support. However, just remember, if it fails that, if it fails 4,500, it might fail kind of hard and go down and go for a touch of the 20 or possibly the 50 EMA. I do want to show you guys something interesting real quick. I've noticed last week, every month at the middle of the month, it's been hitting the 50 EMA. August 19th, we hit the 50 EMA. If we go back to July 18th, 19th, we hit the 50 EMA. If we go back one more month, June 21st, we hit the 50 EMA. That seems like too much of a coincidence to me. I have a feeling there's some big hedge fund taking profits and it keeps getting bought back up. Okay. But it's happening on the 19th of every month. So we might watch that this month and play it. All right. Let's look at Amazon real quick. I'm going to go over what I talked to you guys about on Friday. So somebody had a specific question about this. Okay. So Friday at pre-market, I'm joining right here. Somebody I think had a $3,500 or $3,600 call. No, it couldn't have been that high. Or maybe it's $3,360 was their call. Okay, they were down 70%. Thought when I asked what I should do, I just told them that look, I mean, we were sitting below a resistance, and that it didn't look like it was quite ready to go above it. It looked like it was going to because we were trading above the zero line, right? So that was going to become a support. But even if we could power through on that Friday, I told him that the highest I thought we'd get to is up to this, the 100 EMA right here. Okay. And that's right where their call was at. So I told him, I was like, you might struggle all day to get there. And I said, but when it gets there, it'll probably only be there for 15 minutes or so on one candle because it's going to be a strong resistance. And we're going to probably be worn out from getting through this one. It's going to come back and need to consolidate. So it did take all day Friday. We ended up on a big sell note, right? Okay. Now, I also did think it might go down on Friday, but it did not. The reason I thought that was because we ended up on a big sell note on Thursday, but it got bought up. Okay, and I said that wasn't always 100%. Now, look, we're at pre-market, though. Pre-market, it is stopped right at the 100 EMA. That's not a coincidence. So now we have to see if when the market opens, if it has enough confidence where the market thinks that's a bullish sign and powers through, okay? If it can't, it will be some people at open will sell and it will dip and need to consolidate between the 100 and the 20 EMA here. So right now it may not come all the way back to the 20. It might come back down to say 33.45 or something like that if it does. Okay, before powering through. But we don't know until we see, right? We see and then we see. All we're doing is making educated guesses. Anything you guys want to see this morning? Any stocks in particular? I shouldn't have played those puts on Monday or it's Friday. I played a couple puts just because some things were trading below the zero line, but right at open they went above and it's fighting to get back to go positive again here. So you can see on Apple here, we were in a downtrend, but once we broke through this 20 EMA and then got above this center line here, with a little bit of time, right, this is going to start to rotate up. This is going to shows a bullish movement. To go positive, though, really, we're going to open above Friday's highs. So I'd like to see that hold, but really I'd like to get above Thursday's highs for a breakout. So above 149.09 for Apple. I almost took an ARC call on Friday. ARC is looking really nice just because we had a 200 EMA recovery. And now we are sitting here above all these support lines. We got the 9, the 20, the 50, and the 100 all right here. I'll be watching this close, but we might see a spike on this. Maybe not today or tomorrow, by Wednesday, I think. If it's going to hit, I think I'll have a spike by Wednesday. Okay. Stay tuned this week. And if I'm right, I'll tell you why I was right. I will keep visiting ARC. If I'm wrong, I'll still tell you what I was thinking. Okay. But I'm trying to anticipate what scanners are going to pick up. Okay. So I think that this could get a nice rally and go back to reattempt the recent previous highs of 126. We see, then we see. Do you guys have anything that you want to look at real quick this morning? Anything at all, just type it in the comments. Otherwise, I'll go through a few more. Everybody had all of our gurus had a pretty good week last week. They did nice on their recaps. Mr. Squeeze, little rough. Dark Knight killed it. Lit Plays killed it. We are in beta testing for Steady Lit on SMS. If you get SMS because you watched YouTube, if you send me a DM, I will give you early access to Steady Lit on his SMS alerts. Hit me up. Let me know if you want that. All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything you want to look at specifically, just kind of looking to see what pre-market's doing here. We're up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Google. Once again, guys, you can see we broke down through a support, came back and retested for resistance, but the resistance did not hold, and it became a support again, and we took off. Okay, we consolidated a little bit here, and then we ran. Okay, a lot of times that happens. I tend to look for more EMAs, just like we are on ARC right now, but that's called an EMA squeeze. When the EMAs come real close together like that, they can be cause for big moves. Just to go back and show you, see here, they almost touched, caused for a big move. Right here, they got touching, caused for some big volatility. Okay, but look at that. Once again, I told you guys, couldn't hold the 20 EMA. Within a couple of days, we were down at the 50 EMA. That was the next major support line. And that 50 EMA, you can see it. I mean, you can see that it coordinates along with just chart patterns, right? You can see very clearly here that there is a support level right there. And if we zoomed out further, I'm sure you'd see more trends also. Sorry, I know that gets a little bit cluttered at the bottom there. Goldman Sachs has been just nonstop ripping, it seems like. I guess it did take a big pullback down to the 20 EMA, and now we're at a new higher high. You can see how this is kind of a cup and handle pattern right here. Came down, went up, back down, and back up. Root and axle, you got it. All right, what is Root? Finance, insurance, brokerage services. So they tanked on earnings, I'm guessing. Horrible earnings. Okay, so I don't know much about this stock. It gets a little bit more tricky to do these lower volume, higher dollar stocks. And when I say by lower volume, is I mean traditionally lower volume. It has a lot right here because of they've got earnings play, but anyway. So for a breakout to stay positive, I'd like it to see it hold the 20 EMA, which is at 639. We're way up in pre-market. Okay. If you have a call on this, I'd watch this very closely at pre-market because I bet when the market opens, it's going to pull back. Unless there's some news on it that I'm not aware of. And then it could possibly keep ripping. But I bet on extended hours, I bet there's more volume than I thought. A lot of volume this morning. So there must be some news on that. That's catalyst driven. You can see here, even in pre-market though, we hit the 50 EMA, we pulled back, consolidated, and we broke through, and now we're coming back and testing it for support. Was it to see the general market agrees at open? Okay. Otherwise, you might see it pull back down to the $7 level for to consolidate before returning. Okay. Once again, I don't know a lot about the stocks. I can't tell you a ton on that one, but that's just what I'm seeing on the charts. It is currently in an uptrend. Like I said, that's a fairly decent gap up for this size of stock. Okay, you got to think about that. I know it's only up $1, but when your stock was only $6.40 on Friday close, $1.50 is what 20% of your or $8 is 20% of your 25% of your value. That's a big increase. Axle. Not enough volume here. I don't know what this is. Industrial services. Yeah, see how gappy it is? That's because this must be a very low float. Oh, it's a penny stock. Yeah, you can't really chart penny stocks, guys. I mean, you can for day trading and stuff. Like, look, we broke the 200 EMA. It fell hard. Came back up, tested it. It does look like it's trying to build to break back up into a 200 EMA recovery. But I mean, guys, this is massive. It was 50 cents down to 20 cents. But there's just no volume on this. There's no candles. You can't read this. I can't chart this. Myrna. All right, so it's down pre-market. Oh, we are trading below the zero line, but it looks like it's going to try and go positive here. It looks like it is getting a little exhausted on the selling side. But here's a good. Just kind of look at this. This has not been this. There's a lot of selling pressure on this because even when it gets to the oversold, the overbought, it doesn't move very much. Okay, and then it's going on further. We are breaking the 20 EMA here. And now it's down pre-market. What you might see happen is, because there is support right here, you can see that support. Here you go. Okay, so right here, you can see a support and resistance zone that is well established. It must not be for that high. Okay, so it is trying to. It's sitting on a support right now. What might happen is you might get bought up. Once again, here's pre-market. You can see there's a support zone. Probably a little bit lower there yet. Probably closer to 360 is where you're going to get a stronger support zone. But to go positive, we really want to see it recover the 20 EMA. Okay, I'd like to see this break 385 and hold it. Otherwise, a break, if it can't get back above 378.60 pretty quick, it's going to go lower. If we want to go back a few days and look at this one, this is another support right here, right? Not as strong a support, but it is a support right there at 370. So if it can't hold that 370, it's going to go lower. And if it continues lower, we're probably going to go down to this support line right here. And then my guess would be by the time that happens here in a few days, the 50 EMA will be caught up and it'll be the 50 EMA will be right here. And that's right where that support line is. So yes, it could definitely go lower. ATER. All right. Once again, guys, look at all this volume right here. Hard to chart this stuff. I would say your new support line is 550. Okay, it's at 610 right now. But I'd like to see that hold for it to keep going positive. Okay, it does need to pull back and consolidate a little bit. Trading pretty high there, but we're really up high pre-market now. Jesus. So pre-market. So this is taking off for something, guys. This is catalyst driven. I'd have to know more about this. Look, charts are better for, they will show you a little bit of support and resistance on the way up, right? So I mean, like here it struggled, here it's stopping right here. You can get where your price points are going to be at. But when it's catalyst driven like this, charts are better. Catalyst can change stock sentiment. Stock charting helps get you an idea of what the sentiment of a stock is. Okay, so I really need this to settle down a little bit before I would be able to properly chart this. But if it can hold this 50 EMA of $9, that's what I would say needs to happen for it to stay positive. Otherwise, it's going to pull way back down to somewhere probably where it dropped off for support, like around 850. You can see there's a support area right here. BBIG. Yep, another one. Guys, all that volume. You can see this really was stuck. I mean, it kept getting 200 EMA support, right? Here's that EMA squeeze I was kind of telling you guys about. So it couldn't break above, it couldn't really get any standing going. So as these EMAs kept coming down closer, it pushed it down hard and it needed this to consolidate to gather strength. And now it's breaking through. Okay, broke through on Friday. And now this morning it's way up here. But once again, something's happening with this, with BBIG, which I have not kept up on. I don't play that stuff usually. Disney. All right, Disney is right on a support resistance area. You can see on Friday it broke out right at the end of the day. And here's a support line, and that's right where it's sitting on top of now. Okay. So as for Disney, it depends on what call you have. But we got a new higher low than from here. Okay. This was a breakout, pulled back, and now we're looking for momentum to break through. We did just recently play earnings. They did well. Yeah, I think this has potential as long as this can hold. I wouldn't want to see it drop back down. I'd like to see it at least hold right here of 179, maybe even just 180. 179, 180 area. Yeah, 179. Okay. Breakdown would be, I mean, really, it needs to hold this 177.50 to stay positive going forward in the short term. We see, and then we see. And you can see that this has been moving very violently, but the EMAs are all very close, so it's requiring a lot of strength. If there's no strength, it falls hard. If there is strength, it has decent moves. But this is very volatile, but these EMAs are so close that makes for very wild movement. You can see right here, we got an EMA squeeze. It caused for a big move. Okay. All right, let's go look at AMD real quick. Disney looks, like I said, it depends on what's your call on AMD or on Disney. I mean, it's uptrending on the hour, which I would use the hour for end of the week or maybe next week's calls if you have something in the next few weeks. Okay. In the short term, I'd really like to see it hold above like I said, that once on this chart, yeah, I'd really like to hold about that 176 area to stay keep going positive. All right, AMD. So here you can see we got a big move. We came back down and they're testing for support. It's holding, and now we're going back. You can see here we're right at our support resistance line. It's broke through in pre-market. We just have to see if the regular market agrees with that. Okay. I would like to see this hold 111.63 to stay positive. Okay. And I would not want to, even if it breaks below that, I mean, that's my first support line. Really, my next important support line would be right here at 109. I wouldn't want to see it go below that. And if it breaks below this point, it's going negative at 107. Okay. If it breaks below this and gets a new low, it's going to break down. But you can see here, hang on, let me just zoom in a little bit and draw. Okay. You can see here this was wedging the last few days. Okay. You can see it was wedging. This was a breakout. Traditionally, you don't take a breakout play because it usually comes back and touches it. It might come back, but either way, this is going now. So it doesn't always happen. But if you look up like traditionally, like when to enter on a breakout, it would show you that when it breaks out, it comes back and touches, and then that's your entry point right here. I don't always do that because you got to look at the other things on the chart, right? Here, you can see it's been trading above the zero line. And then right here, it was getting pinched. It was sitting right in that zero line, and it went positive again, okay? It does look like this is going to continue going, trying to go and retest these previous highs. On the hour chart, you might even see this trying to start to form. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, so you got a big bull flag going right here. And now we're breaking out of that bear flag, or that bull flag, bull flag. So there you can see there was that bull flag. Okay. So if this is our bull flag on this breakout, your first price target would be this height. So if our breakout was actually earlier last week, your breakout on the hour chart was right here, on the smaller chart was right here. But in the next few weeks, I'd expect it to come back and retest these previous highs. Okay. That's your first on your hour chart. Now, on this more short-term one, okay, we measure the height of this channel. Okay, look at that. That's right where it broke out to. Okay, so your next price target is always the height of the flagpole, which would have been right here. So if this keeps going positive in the short term, maybe by the end of the week, 115.30. S-Bucks. All right, Starbucks has been struggling. Okay, this is the hour chart, but you can see it keeps breaking. So here it broke support, tested, held as a resistance, pushed it down lower, came back, pushed it down lower. We're catching the 100 EMA. We're catching again. It's consolidating. We do have the 20 and the 50 EMA here. My concern on this stock right now would be the 50 is about, or the 20 EMA is about to down cross the 50. That'll probably happen today. Okay. That'll go off on scanners in the morning, which could cause for a pullback. I'm not saying it will, but it's very possible and something to be aware of. In the short term, let me go to the 15-minute chart here. In the short term, I'd like to see this get and hold above 115.39. Okay. A breakdown for me would be if we lose 114.25, it's going to go lower. Okay. I mean, really, I guess we should probably go back to the lows right there of 113.86. But there's a support line right here. I just wouldn't want to see it break. Okay. In pre-market, it is up and it's above the 9 EMA. That's where I'd like to see it hold. Okay. We just broke above the zero line here on Friday, which does show that it's going to try and go back into an upward trend on the 15-minute chart. Okay. We don't know if that'll happen. We see and then we see. All right, guys. Everybody have a great day in chat. I got to go with my son to school. Then I'll be in the room. If you have any questions, holler at me. I'll be available this afternoon. I do have a couple other things going on today, so I won't be available all day. But I always try to be available. Just hit me up if you need me.